Here's a segment from the latest edition of St. Charles Parish Today, a monthly local talk show. If you've ever had to show up for jury duty, get a building permit, or pay your water bill in person, you've been to a government building. Though the St. Charles Parish seat is in Hahnville, local government is mostly decentralized, with waterworks, public works and wastewater, community services, parks and recreation, and other departments operating out of buildings on both the east and west banks. The St. Charles Parish Government Buildings Department is small and mighty, with a staff of 15 handling in-house work requests and maintenance on a myriad of buildings across the parish. Today we have with us Phil Dufresne, who is the manager of government buildings for St. Charles Parish. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Well, Renee, I appreciate you inviting me here, and I'm glad to be able to give information as far as the Government Buildings Department.
All right, well, first I'll start with the big project that you'll see if you go to the courthouse, which is the third floor renovation. So that'll be online hopefully by the end of 2015. And what will people who go to the courthouse to do business with parish government, what kind of changes will they see because of that project?
For the most part, it's basically going to mean instead of going to the second floor, you'll go to the third floor. Most of the people that go there now are either going to see personnel or purchasing or the parish president, and right now they're already in one suite on the second floor, and we'll just be moving them up to the third floor. Where the big changes are going to come is probably the following year or a couple years after that. When we move up to the third floor, a lot of the offices on the first floor, for instance, the clerk of court will be expanding into some of the offices that we currently have right now. And also the assessor's office will expand into what we call little finance.
Oh, okay. So finance will be on the third floor as well?
Finance will be moving up to the third floor, as well as our grants office and the council records office, which is currently on the second floor but separated from the current parish president's suite, will also be on the third floor.
Okay, so it's kind of a consolidation, if you will, of parish government up on the third floor.
That's correct. And the second floor will be mainly for the Judicial Branch. It'll be the DA's office expanding, and probably the courtrooms, the judges' offices, as well as adding perhaps another courtroom on the second floor.
And the third floor project is interesting because that used to be a jail. So it was kind of an interesting renovation.
And when we bring guests up there, I always tell them that you can hear screams from the past, from the
Don't say that, I have to work there too.
Ghosts from the jail cells, but it's just a joke. You really can't, but it is interesting. But I guarantee you when we get through, you won't ever be able to tell that there were once jail cells up there.
Right. All right, well, moving on. So government building staff is tasked with maintaining a myriad of different buildings around the parish, and there's been a lot more coming online within the last few years. What is your favorite, or what are you most proud of in your line of work?
Probably the fact that people can call on us. If there's a special event coming up, they'll call us and they know that we will make sure that it's set up properly and that we can coordinate it to where the event will turn out to be a success. Mm-hmm. The guys that we have working in the department, they're very good. They've probably, we've had some of our employees there for 25 years or more, and they've probably seen just about every problem that you could possibly imagine, and if they haven't, they can figure it out real quick. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we're going to be losing some of that experience and some of that talent through attrition, through retirement. Mm. But for the most part, it's really hard for me to say what specifically is, brings me the most pride. There's a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm, definitely. So, and another thing that I think a lot of residents take a lot of pride in is beautification and landscaping, and that's kind of been stepped up over the last few years as well, and that's something that your guys take a lot of pride in.
Yeah. Well, we currently maintain, from a maintenance standpoint, approximately 46 different buildings in the parish, And we maintain also through groundskeeping approximately 36 acres of land, as well as the flower beds and the landscaping. And we're getting ready to come up on our busy season with spring and summer coming up. And just depending on the weather, how quickly we'll be able to get to the different landscaping, flower beds, and the different lawns that we have to maintain in the parish.
All right, and the last question I have is Courthouse Security, which is kind of a biggie. Started in the later quarter of 2014. And for people who maybe have not been to the courthouse since that started, can you give us kind of a quick overview on what they can expect?
Okay. We actually started September 15th of 2014, and it was a project that took several years to develop. And it was brought about by, I believe it was the state Supreme Court that mandated that any facility that housed the judicial system had to have a certain level of security. We've got it to where the general public is shepherded, let's say, to one specific entrance where they have security scanning equipment set up. And the main thing is we want to make sure that there's no contraband brought into the courthouse. Also, cell phones, or while you can bring them into the courthouse, we remind people that you can't bring them into the courtrooms. But we also check for weapons and other contraband. So far, we did have a couple hitches when we first got started, but that's like with any project. But we've pretty much ironed everything out, and it's not a static project. It's evolving. We're coming up with new things, coming up with new ideas, and it's basically for the protection of the parish employees as well as the public that visits the building.
And definitely it's something that I think we've needed for a long time, to be in line with other courthouses.
Right. And as far as what we're doing, we're probably pretty advanced when it comes to other, I'm going to call us a rural parish, although we're transforming into a suburban parish, but we're still sort of a rural parish, and we're probably decades ahead of other rural parishes. Now, when you get into the larger parishes like Jefferson, Orleans, Baton Rouge Parish, their security is quite sophisticated, and I believe ours will be that way within a couple of years.
All right. Well, thank you. It's good information, and thank you for being on the show. Okay.
Well, I appreciate it. Again, I want to thank you for inviting me, and I want the parish to know that our guys in government buildings are very dedicated employees. They've been there for quite a while, and we're going to continue maintaining the buildings and cutting the grass. So.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Watch the entire episode at www.scptoday.com or on SCP TV.